Central Edinburgh at 7 a.m, the no rush hour. It's the lost city look in a city with a lot to lose. £300 million for starters, because this year the summer festivals are cancelled.
Please welcome to the stage, Mark Nelson.
Cue comedy from the front room.
It's going to devastate the catering community, it's going to devastate the hotel industry in Edinburgh, it's going to absolutely decimate the cocaine industry in a lot of the UK as well.
The Stand Comedy Club is among those improving a live stream alternative. Showbiz survival for artists without the world's biggest arts festival.
It is the most important thing we have, and it's like our Super Bowl.
From the comfort of your own homes.
Once one finishes, you start thinking about the next one, and then you start writing the show, and then you've got 2 months of previews before it. So it is kind of the culmination of a whole year's worth of work. So it's a big deal for it not to be happening.
In Cromarty, Dr. Catherine Brown plays for patients. Musical therapy, even in 2 pairs of protective gloves. This Highlands GP has worked around the world and has known disaster, like the Christchurch earthquake in New Zealand. What she saw then is in keeping with what she sees now.
It's mainly about people coming together at a time like this, within the healthcare profession, out with the healthcare profession, and members of the community rallying together to help out in a real time of crisis.
More people in Scotland have died from coronavirus than previously thought. At her daily briefing, Nicola Sturgeon says the change in the way that deaths are recorded.
I'm not from a military background myself, but I feel like this is, touch wood, I hope as close a situation to a military being called to service as I might ever get to, but because we are on the front line, but on the front line in a medical sense.
Can you see and hear me okay?
I can see and hear there's a slight delay.
I think it helps me remind myself that I am a human being, and I don't always have the answers. And I think, to be honest, certainly working in general practice, we do work with a lot of uncertainty.
Are you using Zoom or WhatsApp?
But this is learning to deal with uncertainty on a different basis altogether, you know, and something that, like I say, none of us have ever come across before.
In this crisis of life and death, football is less important. But its life and death is an issue. Meet Wraith Rovers fan Rory.
It's a way that you still connect with friends and also family.
Margie.
I've got a set of underwear that I wear, and if we keep winning, I'll keep wearing that set to match games.
And Graham.
That's all people have. Some people like to come here at Starts Park.
The Rovers aren't as vulnerable as some, but listen to their chairman's prognosis for Scottish football without gate receipts.
I would suspect that there's at least half a dozen clubs that would be facing going into receivership or administration, whatever you want to call it, in about 3, 4, 5 months' time. And how Scottish football would recover from that, I don't know.
Rory's launched a donate a ticket scheme where fans donate the price of a ticket for a game they won't watch, but for teams they'll help survive.
Some of the best moments of my life have been supporting Wraith Rovers. It's just a massive part of your life and it would be sorely missed.
I didn't realise how much Saturdays meant to me. And now that Saturday's just the same as every other day.
Scottish football goes deeper than just Rangers and Celtic. There's clubs like Stenhousemuir and Berwick Rangers, Queen's Park. These guys have had massive, massive inputs into the game in Scotland, which is, you know, a cornerstone of Scottish culture.
Back in Edinburgh, I went to the city's Marie Curie Hospice, where social distancing has made its annual daffodil appeal impossible, and they're seeking emergency donations.
And you can see up the corridor here.
It's a financial hit adding to emotional impact on a place that treats people with terminal illness.
We need our families, especially for what we're going through.
Angela McLaughlin's husband and 2 daughters aren't able to pay her a visit. Coronavirus precautions forbid it.
It's been happening to everyone, but more so for the kids missing the likes of Mother's Day.
I missed my youngest daughter's birthday. She turned 14, and it's been hard on them as well, not being able to see me. Okay, we're doing FaceTime, but it's not the same. You want a cuddle from them.
Here they made a decision from day one to prevent the experience of so many casualties of this pandemic. With precautions, they time one final family visit so that no one dies alone.
If we can give that comfort to families, then that makes a difference. Because conversely, we know that if people aren't there and can't see, and therefore it's their imagination, then that's when they start being tortured by it in weeks and months and sometimes even years to come. So this really matters.
On life and death, they are the rules